Listen to this crazy story that this girl is telling you about how the whole community saved her brother's life. Check this out. Now, I did this 20 years ago. See the difference?
When you bring up prejudice, you think that it's just a black and white or a religious thing. We, as a people, are prejudiced against everybody. We're prejudiced against white people, black people, Irish people, Spanish people, heavy people, thin people, rich people, gay people, straight people. It goes on and on and on. For us to change individually and as a species, we have got to rise above this. One of the most tragic things that goes on in our society is the prejudice that we experience, okay? You can't, it's like we're wrestling in the gutter. You can't start looking up until you stop looking down, man. And we have to stop looking. If you could have any kind of life for yourself that you could envision, what would that life be like?
It'd be life where everyone would get along and live in harmony and peace.
Prejudice is something that is so thick in our society, it's in the air, man. You can feel it, you can taste it. You hear bigoted remarks, racial slurs everywhere you go, every day on every street corner you hear them. I'm simply standing up here saying it's got to stop.
I would love to see whites hugging blacks, blacks hugging whites, and we just be as one, one big happy family, because there's no way I can escape from being with you in everyday's life. There's no way you can escape from being, we got to be as one, this is, it's there. There's no escaping it. So we might as well face it, understand it, and try and live with it. Bottom line,
Thank you very much for your cooperation.
There is not a problem acknowledging the differences between us. The problem is when we assign quality values to those differences and say that one is better than the other. We are all unique individual expressions of God and of life. And it is our diversity that makes us beautiful.
We have to change, but what is the viable solution? As individuals, how do we start now to do it?
Envisioning the wildest dreams that you can hold in your mind and believing that you can have these things.
My brother needed a liver transplant a few years ago. Our insurance wouldn't cover it. We were a middle-class family. We were very quiet, in control of our lives. Suddenly, out of the blue, my brother needed a liver transplant. He was dying. He had 2 weeks to live. Our insurance absolutely would not cover the operation. $250,000. Well, we couldn't get Medicaid. We were middle class. We made just a little too much for Medicaid. And we didn't have enough to cover the operation, $250,000. What happened was that one person gathered the community together and raised the money for my brother's operation. So point being, thank you. Point being, like this gentleman over here earlier was saying, who is going to do it? Who is going to get everyone together? Who's going to start things? Well, you can. Anyone can. And I thank everyone for just giving for my brother's life. His life. You can save a life by reaching out. I know this because I experienced it.